There was a lot of news here in the United States in just the past 5 hours, so I figured let's go ahead and break them all together in just like one little recap. In immigration news, dozens of migrants have arrived in Guatemala after they were deported from the United States. According to the report, a U.S. military aircraft that contained 31 women and 48 men arrived there, and right now those people are being held in shelters by their local government. According to their foreign minister, they don't know how many aircraft or how many people they're expected to get back from the United States into their country. They kind of need to know this so they can prepare for this stuff, get either whether they be hygiene products or just some kind of system in order to get these people back to their hometowns. We're going to move over to Chicago, where ICE agents attempted to get inside a school to retrieve someone, but they were stopped. This took place at the Hamline Elementary School around 11:15 their local time. According to the Chicago Public Schools chief education officer, they kept the ICE agents outside of the school and contacted the public school law department, adding that the ICE agents were not allowed into the school and were not permitted to speak to any student or staff member. At the same time, ICE is denying that they even attempted to try to get into that school, saying, quote, "This was not a U.S. immigration or customs enforcement encounter." In the latest by Trump, he's actually calling on state and local governments to help carry out immigration enforcement. This is coming from a Homeland Security memo saying that there's a mass influx of immigrants at the U.S.-Mexican border. This, by the way, is coming from the acting DNS secretary, in which he says, "I've determined that there exist circumstances involving the administration of immigration law of the United States that endanger the lives and property, safety, and welfare of the citizens and residences of all 50 states, and that an actual or intimate mass influx of aliens is arriving at the southern border of the United States and presents urgent circumstancing requiring an immediate federal response." And yes, I know I messed up some of that quote, thanks to my cat. Donald Trump earlier today went to North Carolina, where he talked about the damage and the help that was needed, and then went on a whole rant about FEMA, adding that "I'll be signing an executive order to begin the process of fundamentally reforming or overhauling FEMA," and then adding, "or maybe getting rid of FEMA. I think, frankly, FEMA is not good." He's looking at more or less not the federal government dealing with these disasters, but rather the state officials. Trump then did talk about California, saying that he'll be conditioning aid to California, demanding that the water reservoirs just in Northern California should be released. Oh, and then he talked about voter ID. And lastly, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, for the first time in one of his big meetings, spoke with his Chinese counterpart. According to the department press release, Rubio emphasized that the Trump administration will pursue a relationship that advances U.S. interests and puts the American people first.